The attempt by the deep state, particularly Britain, and the European Union and part of the United States, to drag us properly into the war in Ukraine. In the first couple of weeks when COVID struck, I thought perhaps this is genuine, perhaps all this apparent sort of excess of enthusiasm for various things is due to a real fear on behalf of the elite. I've very quickly realised, certainly within a month, that the whole thing was a gigantic scam, and started looking as to why they were doing this. And of course, I'm sure a lot of you know, the answers are truly frightening. Something people may not know about Nick Griffin, right? Well, in 2012, when David Cameron was trying to take Britain to war in Syria, I was invited by the Syrian government to go there to write the letter which they sent to the British Parliament, which persuaded a small number of Tory MPs to rebel against the Tory whip and stop that war, thereby saving Britain probably something like £2 billion of taxpayers' money, and allowing the decent people of Syria, including the Christians, to survive unaffected by the Islamist lunatics who've now been put in charge of the place for a few more years. I think bizarrely enough, I set out to try and save Britain, and for a few years I saved Syria from the Islamist cutthroats which the Western intelligence services and governments were trying to put into power. Sadly, they've now done it, but it was something that really, yeah, I am proud of that. What should I have approached differently? Well, I suppose there's various things which, if I told you, I'd probably end up divorced. If you mean the most important lesson that I've learnt in politics, there are actually two which are really quite opposite to each other. One is to be kinder to people, and the other is to be more ruthless. No, I'm a political centrist. Most of my politics come from a strain of British nationalism which had its fullest exposition in the very early days of the Labour Party under Bob Blatchford. So on some social issues you could consider me right-wing. On economic issues I believe in things like renationalising the railways, so it makes me pretty left. Nigel Farage is a brilliant, cynical and very lucky politician, and he is not going to save Britain. Benjamin Netanyahu is another one of a long line of psychopathic Zionist war criminals. Donald Trump is a fascinating figure. I think that he's going to be seen in history as the first of the real emperors who are there at least as the titular heads of the technocracy which is going to rule us all. Tommy Robinson is a wholly owned subsidiary of the Zionist forces which are trying to create a race and religious war in Europe and in Britain on behalf of Israel. Vladimir Putin, I believe, is a providential man who was literally sent to save Russia, which he's already done, and potentially also to save the world from what the Western elites are doing. I'm aware that he plays footsie with various forces which we'd rather he didn't, but he's in real politics and he's making a real difference.